Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope everyone is doing well. It's a little rainy where I am. I'm not sure what it's like where you are, but it's a good day to be inside and getting stuff done. Here I am with this way. Krafty Kris over here on her desktop, and we are super excited to bring everyone two new classes from Kris. One she has been working on for quite some time, and we've been refining and making plans and all that kind of thing. And then the other one, she got inspired when she did her learning live a couple of weeks ago and pulled something together super quickly that I think you guys are all going to really enjoy. So I'm just going to turn the screen over to Kris, and she will talk to you about the classes, and then I'll come back at the end because we've made some changes. We're always keeping things fresh, keeping things different. So I just want to explain those things to you as well. So all right, Kris, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon or good morning, I guess. Thanks for joining us today. I am super excited. And yes, as Sherry said, one I've been working on a while, the other one just kind of popped in my head, but they're both super exciting classes. And the thing I like about both classes is you really don't have to have any experience at all. You can, because some of the things that you'll be learning are going to be revisited, but I am adding on top of that, and they're easy to do. That's the cool thing. So using up your stuff in your stash has always been tricky, especially when it comes to mixed media. And so these are classes to help you work your way through that. So the first class that I have available is a watercolor class, and we're going to be working with watercolor pencils. You don't have to have the Tim Holtz pencils in the class. You can have any kind of watercolor pencil you want to use from your stash. And we are going to be working on several techniques. I have 8 showing here that we will eventually work into our finished project in the class. And then you will receive, because we're working with botanicals, so florals this time around, you will receive an actual PDF that you can print off, and I will show you how to transfer it to paper in the class so that you don't have to think about what something looks like. It's already there. You're just practicing the techniques to make it come alive. So I've got a couple of examples of...
Sorry, Kris, before you go on, I'm just going to jump in because I will come back and talk about this at the end. But one thing that's important for all of you watching to know is these are what we are calling access passes. So they are instruction only classes. You will not be receiving a kit. As Kris said, this is meant for you to dive into your stash, maybe use tools or products or paper that you haven't used in a while or ever. So it really is designed to just let you build your stash. So when Kris says she's sending you something, that will be electronically so that you can print it out and use it for the class purposes. But really, we're focusing on teaching you the techniques, and you can use the stuff in your stash. So just wanted to clarify that. I will come back and talk a little bit more about that at the end.
Okay, thank you, Sherry. Yes, so the techniques that we will be learning in class, we're going to be applying to a finished watercolor at the end of the class. And you can see that there's multiple ways that your watercolors can be played out. Like there's no right answer. That's the thing I love about this class, is that everything works. And so these are classroom examples here. And the whole idea is with the PDF that you get electronically, you're going to be able to print that off as many times as you need to go ahead and build your practice to get some muscle memory. So eventually you can end up doing one that is just freehand without the actual, what do I want to call that? Missing a word, without the actual PDF that gives you the outline. So the idea is to bring you from this to freehand. So that is the watercolor class, and it trust me, it is so easy. It's step by step, and you're going to love it. You're going to feel very accomplished at the end of the class. The second class that I'm excited about is the one that just popped into my brain, basically. And it is using embossing folders and creating with inks and um, embossing powder, different techniques. So we've got, we're using the emboss and deboss sides. We're using sprays. We're using splatters. We're using all kinds of different techniques to give us different looks on the paper. And these are like stunning. These take your embossing to a whole new level. And the nice thing about these is they can be used for anything. They can be used for backgrounds on your cards. They can be used for layouts. They can be used for art journals, ATC cards, bookmaking, anything you can possibly think of. But look at how beautiful these things are. Beautiful backgrounds. So very easy to do. Like I said, all you need to do is know how to use your embossing machine. And if you, I'll leave these out so you can have a look while I'm talking. And if you are not quite sure about how to use your embossing machine, or you haven't pulled it out, or it's been a while, anybody can do these techniques, whether you've like I said, whether you've even touched your machine or not. I will be in the Facebook group sending information to help with the beginning parts, like how you actually use your machine. The live that we did, or the learning live that we did a few weeks ago, I think I'm going to ask Sherry if I can put that actually in the Facebook group. Sherry, so that you have a preliminary if you've not touched your machine in a while. Just there's some tips and tricks in there that will help you to get really great impressions out of your embossing machine. Now, speaking about Facebook groups, just quickly, so all of the Facebook groups, one for the watercolors and one for the embossing folders, are going to be monitored by me and supported, and there will be pertinent information in those Facebook groups for watercolors and embossers, and there will be ongoing interactions. So my hope is that in the group, you're going to share your development, share your skills, get encouragement, ask questions. And if you can't watch the time of the class, that's the place you're going to go to watch the replay. So the replay will be available in the group. And I'm really, really encouraging you to share your success with your techniques in both classes in those groups, so that you can feel like you're moving forward and you're using up your stash. Okay, so that's it. I can't wait.
All right, so first things first, let's talk a little bit about what changes we're making to classes. And, you know, to some degree, this is a little bit of a test for us. So as we go along, we would love your feedback to let us know how this works for you. But as I mentioned earlier, these are access passes. So there's instruction only. There is no kit. You pull from your stash. Now, Chris, this is something I think you can address in a little bit, but Kathy was asking, if you don't have sprays, is there a way to do it with only ink? And I think she's referring to the embossing folder class.
Right. So one of the techniques is definitely sprays. So you would have be able to do everything else but the spray class. I could encourage you though, Kathy, if you have a friend that has sprays, you just need 3 green, like 6, a total of 6 colors. So I've got greens and reds, and that's what I'm using. You can use mica sprays. You can use any kind of spray, as long as it has a color in it, and the colors kind of you like.
And I think even if they want, excuse me, if they just want to get started, they could just play with a couple of colors instead of necessarily having all 6.
Absolutely. You can
Yeah.
cut back to 2 of one. The only reason I have 2 different sets of colors is so that we can indicate which is the deboss and which is the emboss and see the difference. So yeah, if you want to start slow, getting two to 4 colors will give you a sense of the technique. And then if it's something that you're enthusiastic about, you can move on to and replay the class and play it with more colors.
I was just going to say the same thing, that if you, for that portion of the class, if you don't have sprays, you could always just watch that part, see if this is really something you want to try, and then invest in a couple of sprays afterwards, because you will be able to go back and see the replay anytime you want. So hopefully that answers your question. And anybody who is worried about sprays, again, don't feel like you need absolutely 6 different colors. Either watch and get it afterwards, or just pick 1 or 2, or like Kris said, grab a friend who maybe has a couple sprays and do the class together. That's one of the things that I love most about classes, is getting together and sharing the crafty experience with someone else. All right, so access only, no kit, pull from your stash. One thing to note is we really would like you to purchase these registrations as separate transactions. Don't put product on with it. Don't put anything else. Just do it as a standalone transaction and choose store pickup as your delivery option, because you're not getting anything shipped. So you definitely don't want to pay shipping on that transaction. It will be in a Facebook group. We have dabbled in both Zoom classes as well as Facebook classes, and we want to give this a try. We want to use this as a portal for all of your questions, ongoing interactions, and that kind of thing. And while I know some people don't have Facebook accounts, maybe you just set up a Facebook account simply for your crafting lessons. You don't have to make friends. You don't have to do anything else with it. Or again, find a friend that has a Facebook account and watch together. But we do ask that if you're going to be in the Facebook group, that you are both registered in that class. What else to tell you about access only? There will be, I think, more opportunities for interaction than we do typically with the Zoom classes. And Kris has tons of resources for her 2 classes that she's willing and happy to share. Now, having said all of that, we do plan to actually have a live class that we encourage you to watch, the watercolor pencil class. And while Kris said that you can use any kind of watercolor pencil, and absolutely that's true, she will be using the Tim Holtz Distress set number 2. So if you have that set, that's fantastic. You can use any of the sets. And this one was really designed that if you've already bought those pencils and you've not used them, get them out. Let's get you using them. The live class will be on Thursday, October 17th at 7 p.m. and the cost is $25. The embossing folder class, same thing. You're going to pull any embossing folders from your stash. In the product description and in the communications that Kris is going to share with you, she will explain the 3 folders that she's doing, but you don't have to use the exact same ones as her. That class is on Thursday, November 7th. Sorry, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, if you only have 1 folder, that's fine too. If you only have 2, that's fine too. If you have 18 and you want to try a different one with every technique, that's fine too. And that's the nice thing about the access classes. You can do what you want.
That's right. That's right. So the embossing folder class is on Thursday, November 7th at 7 p.m. And again, we're going to get you in that Facebook group early so that you can have some interaction. You can prep together. And then if you can watch the class live, that's awesome. If you cannot watch it live, the replay will live in there as well. Now, we know these are a lot of changes. So if you have any questions, let me just find our email address here. You can email us, info@craftersworkshop.ca, but we would love to have you sign up. The last nice thing is that we can have as many of you in the class as we can. There's no kit, there's no limiting factor. So tell all your friends, get everybody in that class, learn, use your stash, and have lots of fun. So without further ado, I think that's it from me. In order to find these classes on the website, Matt has done a little tinkering on the website, and there is now a classes tab right along the top menu bar. So you're just going to click on that and you will find it's called Watercolor Pencil Technique, or Distress Watercolor Pencil Techniques with Kris. And then there is Inky Embossing Folder Techniques, also with Kris. So you can go to that classes tab, or you can check in the September new arrivals to find those 2 classes. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Hopefully you're going right to the website to sign up for these classes. Then you're going to start digging out your watercolor pencils, digging out your embossing folders, and getting ready to learn. We are super excited about this. As always, welcome your feedback, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Happy Monday, everyone.